Hello crew, we're working on lesson 49, writing equations in slope-intercept form. I'm just going to go through the book examples with you just to give a better description of some of the things that they did. The first one, example 1, is pretty self-explanatory. They give me this equation, y equals 3x minus 4. Remember, this is in y equals mx plus b form because y is by itself, which is what the whole lesson is really about. Okay, and they want to know the slope and the y-intercept. So here's the slope, here's the y-intercept. M is 3, b is negative 4. Boom, you're done. Now, that one's easy because it's already in slope-intercept form, okay? But if I take a look at that next one, they give us 2x plus 3y minus 9 equals 0. This is obviously not in y equals mx plus b form because I don't have y by itself. Okay, so we need to get y by itself, meaning we need to get rid of these guys and then get rid of that 3. So I'm going to move these at the same time. I'm going to say I need to move this whole term and I need to move this whole term to the other side. Okay, so that gives me, these are going to cancel, 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. Notice I put that x term first, because we're trying to get it to look like this. We want it to be mx plus b, okay? All right? So I always put that x term first there, so I'm kind of like already getting it close to that form. Now I want to get y by itself. The operation between these two is multiplication, so I'm going to divide by 3, which means I divide everybody by 3. So this would be y equals negative 2/3 x. I can't reduce that. Plus 9 over 3 is 3. Now again, once I put it in this form, then I'm just asking myself, what is the slope and what is the y-intercept? Here's my m, here's my b. So m is negative 2/3, b is 3. Done. Okay, so that's the first part. Then they make us work a little harder. Now they want us to graph, okay? Now they want us to graph. Now, you can make a table of values for these, okay? That would be like what we did in 8th grade math, all right? But we want to go further. We want to make this quicker for each other, okay? So we want to use, we call this a quick graph, and we use, again, mx plus b. We're going to start with our b, because that's where we begin, and then we are going to move using our slope. Okay, all right, so if I look at this guy here, he doesn't have anything over here, so that's plus 0. So if I look over here at my graph, I'm going to begin at 0, and then I'm supposed to move using the slope, and we're going to do that twice. Now, handy enough, this is already written as a fraction. Remember, slope is written as rise over run. Sorry, I'm getting kind of clear. So I'm going to go up 2 and over 3. So from this point, I'm going to go up 2 over 1, 2, 3. So up 2, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do that again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nice long line. Sorry, my line's not very straight, but it's freehanding it. Okay? All right, now let's do that again. This time, however, unfortunately, they don't give it to us in a very pretty form. So we need to put it into y equals mx plus b, meaning we need to get this guy by himself. So we're going to move this whole term and this whole term. Notice again, notice I put them in order, okay? So I have y equals negative 2x minus 5. Okay, I didn't have to divide because there wasn't anything out here. All right. So again, if this is y equals mx plus b, this is where I begin, and this is how I'm going to move. Now, unfortunately, this isn't as a fraction this time, but we're just going to remember that that means over 1. Okay, negative 2 is the same as negative 2 over 1. So, begin at negative 5 on the y-axis, and then from there, I'm going to go down 2 over 1. Okay? So, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. You guys are, of course, going to use graph paper, so it'll be delightful. Now, I will say, and I know that some of you are going to say, well, can't you count the other way? We learned it that way. Yes, you can. You could go up 2 and back 1, okay, as long as you're using a negative movement at some point. Same way with this one. You could have gone down 2 and left 3. You did 2 negative movements, which give you a positive. That's fine too. I just find that usually if people use the signs as they're given, we're usually a little bit more successful. So there you go. So that's graphing, okay? Where do you begin and how do you move? Now, the last part of this is writing our equation in slope-intercept form. And it looks like they're giving us graphs to begin with. So I'm just going to kind of show my book and talk through this, okay? Maybe. Okay. Sorry that this is so ugly. You might have to look at your own book and kind of follow along because mine's kind of hard to read. It won't focus in very well. Okay. All right. Remember the pieces that we needed to be able to write our equation. We needed the b, the y-intercept, and we needed to know how it moved. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. I'm just going to resketch the graph. Just 1 second. Everybody just calm down, okay? Just calm down. I'm going to rewrite it. Just chill out. I'm still here. Nobody freak out. Okay, this isn't perfect, so yeah, it's not perfect, but it's going to work. Okay, so we know it needs to be in this form. So the first thing I want to look for is the b. Do I know where it crosses the y-axis? And it has to be exact, okay? Now, I know my picture's not great, but in the book, this graph crosses exactly at -1. So we know this is -1, okay? From that point then, I could count using my slope to the next given point. Well, I can tell on my graph that it crosses through right here. So from here to here, I could go up 1, 2, over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went up 2 over 4, which reduces to 1/2. So there's my equation. It started at -1 on the y-axis, and it went up 1 over 2. Yep, it sure did. Up 1 over 2. Yep, it sure did. Okay? Now, let's do that other one, part B, as well. Let me draw it right quick. Okay? Remember, when I look at this graph, I'm asking myself, which I made the dot pretty big, so I hope you can see it. Where did it cross the y-axis? It crossed right here at 2. So that goes right here. Then, where is another point on that line? Well, if you look at that graph, it looks like it crosses 1, -1. So from here, I would have to go down 1, 2, 3, over 1. I went down 3 over 1. So that reduces then to -3. And there's my B. Okay? Okay. Do your best.